Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It's late night. I wanted to make a video before I forget my train of thought. So let's get into this video. Basically, it's regarding paying respect to Akira Toriyama. And as you already know, I made a previous video. It was very touching to me. I said a lot of things about my personal life and my overview of things and a lot of things. If you haven't seen it, you could go check that video out. I also share uh, my face. I finally show you guys what I look like. So it's all in the other video if you're interested in watching it. It's like a special gift to everyone. But back to Akira Toriyama and the situation of him passing away recently. I was thinking of discussing about Piccolo, and I'm more into Dragon Ball Z than anything else. But you know, when you grow up, you become an adult and you're busy with doing too many things. But the world of the anime is like a big deal because it is true. It teaches you a lot of good morals, especially if the writer has a good motivation or a successful drive, or he's successful himself. They can impart some of those good qualities into the character, and they can be manifested in a lot of different ways through the characters, what they say, what they do, how they impact the anime world. And you can see a lot of good qualities through Piccolo. And there's a lot of things to be seen through Piccolo that people don't really realize that I wanted to touch about. And then we'll be moving on to another character that I believe is also special, that people might not know how special the character is, but I think he's more special than people think. So I guess if people want me to, you can leave in the comment section and I can do like a commentary on all the characters. Not all the ones in Dragon Ball Z, just the ones in the Z fighters, the Z fighters, and I can explain one by one who they are, how they relate, and what Akira Toriyama was trying to portray or show. And people might be wondering, what do I mean by that? And what I mean by that is each of the characters are like very unique. They have like a character features, and they relate somehow in some way to everyone. And that would explain why you have your favorite character, because that's the character that you can relate to the most. That is, that's more relatable to you. You understand um, his point of view. You might find some similarities in you sometimes to some of these characters. So when asked in like a 90s interview, there's thousands and thousands of interview. And like I said before in the previous one, Akira Toriyama's got all this project, all this stuff that he's going through, revenue from all these multi-billion-dollar companies and making trading cards and, you know, all the merchandise that comes with it, the toy line, the anime, the shirts. There's just so much. There's cups and plates, just anything you can think of, socks, and your list just goes on and on forever. Card decals and pillows and blankets, carpets, posters. It's just mugs, dishes, cakes. It's just like so much, you know. It's gonna take forever to go over the list, but costumes. But in reality, you have a lot of like YouTubers adapting to the animation, creating their own versions, and you can see how they're inspired. But when asked by Akira, since he gets asked so many questions, Akira Toriyama, he gets asked again and again. Sometimes you see him like changing his answers, but it's just like us, you know, you might drink something today, tomorrow you might drink something different, but he tells you at the heart on some of the interviews his favorite character, his least favorite character, and when stuff like that. And I wanted to discuss a little bit of paying like respect to him and the perspective of Akira Toriyama. So to Akira Toriyama, his favorite character is Piccolo. So there's some people who might not believe it, but you would have to go see an old interview. And this isn't the first time that I mentioned this. I've mentioned it before while he was still alive. And this character is very unique in the way that he's not like the rest of the characters. Like the rest of the characters can come and go, but Piccolo is just always there. Like it doesn't matter what the series or the franchise or like the seasons, it doesn't matter what, he's always there, and there's always light shined upon him. He's always reaching like this new plateau, like a character on the side, and he's on par with the Saiyans, and people don't notice. He gets to do everything first. Like I had said before, he was the first one that showed fusion because he fused with Nail, and people don't realize that unless you can find somewhere else where there was a first fusion, but it was actually Piccolo. There's a reason for that. And then he gave Piccolo the ability to turn the size of a monkey to a big size. Like you start noticing it's his favorite character because the sky's the limit. And the fact that he makes him the villain in the beginning, but also like Vegeta, it's one of those special characters that have character development that go from bad to good. And who knows, maybe Akira had um, bad kid kind of thing. Like I don't want to make something up fake, but I mean, some of us, like myself, growing up, sometimes you're like a bad kid or something, and when you grow up, you go through changes for the better, and then eventually helping out the community and doing what's right. And you can see in his favorite character that design that he starts off as a villain and then he goes into being a hero. Now, the character takes on some roles that are actually very unique to Piccolo, and that they oversee, or I would say, he's a better character than other characters in many different ways. The first one is the way he can be a dad. He can be a father to Gohan, and if you've seen the show, you know what I mean. Like in terms of being a father, he's like 100 times better of a father than Goku is. Goku's never around. He's just a weirdo to begin with. And Piccolo's got all this wisdom. He's smarter than Vegeta. Um, he's got his own planet for himself. He's got his own people. He's the strongest out of them all. And he lands here on planet Earth. And then he ends up becoming a Z fighter. He has the ability to regenerate. He's one of the first villains. Unless, like I said, you can name another one, but I think he's the first one to have the ability to regenerate. Everyone else copies him, like Cell, like Boo. They all just copy his technique. He has the power to regenerate, and he has the power to, he doesn't need to eat, because all the characters need to eat or they die. He doesn't eat or drink. And he has the ability to create clothes, and he's considered like a demigod in the series, actually. And the show shows you later on that he does a fusion with Kami, which is he was separated, so there was two parts of him. One of them was like the older himself, like full of wisdom and being like a father figure to the earth, like being helpful, and the other part just doing everything for himself, like a selfish side. But they come together and they work together, and they become stronger, and there could be a lot of lessons learned there, because some people are like that. Like they're divided. On one way they want to be nice, another way they want to be bad, but you have to reconcile to yourself and reconcile the two sides. One side just submitting to what's good, and the other side just helping and not rejecting the good side of you, and becoming one for the better. And this is just like in earthly terms. And the character fathers Gohan, and he's just seen as a pillar in the show in many ways, shapes, and forms. He's always there to like guide later on in the Buu saga the boys to fuse Trunks and Goten, and it's because of him that a lot of cool things happen. And then the Dragon Balls, because of Kami side, and then there's just so much to the character. And Akira said that it's his favorite character. His limbs extend. He's got immense power. His design is cool too. Like I like the way his clothes looks, and his cape and his turban, and then their weight clothes. And he's fearless. He's fearless. He can stand up to Vegeta, and He's just a really, really well put character, and you can tell Kira why he likes him so much. And then when you see his design overall, he's cool looking. He's an alien. Um, it's just so cool to me. And he's got antennas, but they cover him on the turban. It's so crazy, and it is just so cool that the character and Akira being his favorite character. And then also in my show that I have, I'm gonna continue my anime show just to show like some respect and some thankfulness to Akira, because I was thinking of ending it, but I'm gonna continue it, because that way the legends don't die; they just keep going, and a lot of people are gonna continue to make Dragon Ball anime, so that people never forget him, or he never did pass away. He's still with us. He's still alive through the character, showing good qualities, motivating, because that's what it is, right? And yeah, and it's just so awesome. And I could always see why he liked it, being his favorite character, but he was always a little bit in the shadows. They kind of push him to the side because they want to do what the fans want to do. But it was cool to see Akira Toriyama on that the Dragon Ball Heroes. Um, he finally made his character shine when he made him into the Orange Piccolo. It was pretty cool to see. And then he made the Gohan, the Beast Gohan, because in reality he did mention before that Gohan was gonna be the main character, but the fans kept crying about Goku. But the according to the show, and according to Kira, Piccolo being his favorite character, and then Gohan being the main character. And to be honest with you, I agree with Mr. Toriyama. I believe that it's solid. If they actually made an anime where it was a Piccolo and Gohan, it would stand solid. If you don't believe it, watch the movie, and it's true. It's true. And then also it's kind of a similar like a father and a son. They have a unity, a very strong unity, and then they feed off each other to strengthen each other. Piccolo being the guide and Gohan being the student, but at the same time, Gohan being stronger than Piccolo, and they just help each other out. And they're both really, really smart. Gohan is very smart too, and he's a half-breed Saiyan, but he stands on his ground. You don't really need Vegeta or Goku. Like he could get it done. And Piccolo the same way. And we're gonna move on to another character that people don't realize that Akira actually has some hidden message into it, because some things like when somebody passes away, there's a lot of things that people don't get to like talk to them, or there's a lot of questions that they have, but all you have to do is like look at it and analyze it, and you can see something special. So this is the character that I believe that's like a secret special character to Akira Toriyama that people don't realize. And people are gonna be like, well, you can just put words on his mouth, or he never said that. But when you analyze the character, like imagine you create your own anime. Like I have my own anime, and there's special characters in the show that are my favorite. And what I do is the same thing he does, Toriyama, or anyone who creates anime. You don't always blabber everything and tell all the secrets. What you do is some of the things you keep to yourself, and you transmit them through the characters. You transmit them to through the characters, and the characters have that message hidden in them, and nobody will be able to decipher it unless you're wise and you look at a character carefully. So, for example, on my anime show, um, my favorite character of the whole show, like, and I don't shy away from saying it, is Nana Shimura. So she's a very special character, and I'm gonna be doing a review on my anime show pretty soon. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but I impart special things into him, and then into her. I'm sorry, and then she's the one watching over Jay, which is the main character of the show, and he has a master over him, which is Green Tea, and you have like Piccolo and Trunks. You have all these characters in there too, and they're there to support the character, but they're all very unique. They're all very strong. And the reason why I mentioned that is because Akira Toriyama is no different than any creator who creates something. They impart something special in specific characters, and sometimes the characters that are not the main characters, they're the ones that carry the most specialness, and people don't realize it. And it happens because it happens in life too. People are overlooked left and right every day. It happens. It's very common. So this is the character. I believe this is the character that actually is um, the real essence of Akira Toriyama is this character. He's the special character, and I'm gonna show you guys why it's true. This character has nothing to do with the rest of the characters. He's unique, and people are like, why? First of all, he's uh he's the son of Bulma and Vegeta. So Bulma carries like so much power in the franchise because she was there from Dragon Ball, and she was the one that was. It was always about Bulma too. It wasn't just Goku. It was Bulma, and Bulma was always the sidekick, and she was always there to like the Dragon Radar, and basically without Bulma, Dragon Ball wouldn't stand. And when you look at Dragon Ball Z, there's a little bit of Bulma in there as well, but not as consistent as Dragon Ball. But the main point is for you to understand that character was like the origin of the franchise. So Akira didn't just want to let her like pass away like when you're writing a character, like you make a character, like I can create a character from scratch too, and you would want to pay homage or respect to the character. So Akira did just that, Bulma little by little started going into the shadows, and you can see her in Dragon Ball Super having more of a strong ground. But Akira wanted to respect the character, and she made that character fall in love with the character that he doesn't like. There's a character that he doesn't like, and the character he doesn't like is Vegeta. And he also tells you in the interview that Piccolo is his favorite, but the one he doesn't care about is Vegeta. But he says Vegeta's still useful. So he takes his character that helped them start it, because a lot of people think that it's Goku, but it's not Goku. And the one that helped them develop it was Bulma. So he made Bulma get together with the character that he most hates. So I wouldn't say he most hates, but the one he dislikes the most, and that one being Vegeta. And from Vegeta, a baby's born, and the baby is Trunks. And I believe this is what I honestly believe. I believe that Trunks is actually Akira Toriyama. And people are gonna be like, "Well, that's just a dumb thing. I've never heard that. He never said that, and this and that. I'm gonna get backlash for it." Well, pay attention to this character. He's not really like part of the Z world because he's born, but he comes from the future, like another timeline. And then he comes to help the Z Warriors so the Z Warriors can continue. And when you notice the character is like broken. He's wise, and he's shaped by pain. He's shaped by things not working, things not going well in his timeline, by seeing everyone destroyed. And he's kind of like a loner. He's like a loner, but he starts carrying the weight of the shoulder up on him. And what the character is really doing is he has a goal in his heart and his soul and his mind. And the goal is to both help his world and then help the past. And if you see Akira Toriyama, there's a lot of Akira Toriyama in this character, and people don't catch it because Akira Toriyama, by creating the anime, he helps the world. He helps the world. He does. He helped me. He helps a lot of people, and he uses that same character um, to help the anime. So you can see the two sides of the coin. I believe Trunks is that special character that that has a lot of hidden meaning that only Akira knew. Nobody else knew. Nobody, the writers, no one. I think Akira put that in him. That I believe Trunks is like the is Trunks is Akira Toriyama in the show, because he's there to help his timeline, which isn't perfect, and that's how the world is. But he's also there to help the Z fighters. So it's the best of both worlds. And like I said, the character doesn't give up, and he works with the Z fighters and he accomplishes that. And if you see the end of the story, well, it doesn't end because it just keeps going and going. But basically, the end, one of the main plots, at least, he accomplishes it. He comes back, it changes everything for the best, and then he goes back to his time. And when he goes back to his time, he fixes his time as well. So he fixed both times. But as you can see in the future, things still go crazy. But he keeps doing the same thing. But I honestly believe that this character is Akira Toriyama. Like, look at it carefully, and you can see Akira Toriyama in this character. And if you doubt it, compare it. Like, imagine this character wasn't named Trunks. Imagine this character is named Akira Toriyama. And let me show you why I believe it is him. Because this character, what makes him different than every other character, and what actually makes him special, like if you remove this, the character dies, is transcending time. He can travel time up and time down. So guess what Akira can do with the animes? With the animes, Akira can travel to the future, and you're like, why? Because 1,000 years in the future, he can touch people with the anime. But the anime can also travel to the past. It can travel to the past to people like me, and it can actually travel to the present. So it can go back, it can go to the future, and it can go now, and it becomes a classic. And once you realize that, you start noticing, wow, Piccolo might have been his favorite character, but you can see Trunks is the special character. And I know there's gonna be a lot of people who disagree, but just look at the similarities. It's too clear to see it. It's too clear to see it. He's the son of the character he mostly likes, and then he's also the son of the character that helped mold the franchise. And he doesn't like Goku. Goku's not his favorite character. He's not my favorite character either. And because Goku's basically only exists because the fans want him, but he's not real. Like he's not. And you can tell because when you look at him, he's a little off. Like he's not all that smart. He's not a good father. He's not a good this. He's not a good anything. He's just a weirdo, and he's just pushed to always win because the fans want it. So the character's created by the fans, but it's not created by Akira. So he's being pushed by the agenda of the people. So I don't consider him like a genuine character because he's more of an image of the fans. But I don't think that that's good because when the fan base gets too involved, what starts happening is it's no longer the creator, it's the fans. And I believe Goku is fans. He's not the creator, and I care more about the creator than I do just about the fans. And people are gonna attack me for that. What I mean by that is the person who creates an anime, they have a message, and you have to let them tell the message. Otherwise, you don't care about the creator. So Goku to me is like of no value as a character, to be honest. And I'm not saying I hate Goku or I don't like him. I'm just saying to me he has no value. But when you look at Trunks, he has nothing to do with the fans. And he is the backbone of Dragon Ball Z, the universe. Because without him, there wouldn't be no Z. Z would have ended. So let's say Trunks doesn't exist. Well, then, to be honest with you, that means the Android Saga is the end of it. Like, as soon as the Android Saga starts, that's the end of Dragon Ball Z because they all died, remember? So, this character, his job is to make sure that Dragon Ball Z can live on. The Z characters. So that's his purpose. He lives to help the Dragon Ball Z world live another day. And that's Akira Toriyama. Now, before he passed away, he left a lot of projects. So I'm hoping that the people who take charge don't ruin it like they did to GT. A lot of people like GT, but there's a lot of projects he left undone. Let's just hope that they keep it going. And then Dragon Ball Super 2, let's just hope that they do it properly, and they finished it. But yeah, but I have to end the video. But Trunks is such a special character, and if you don't want to see Trunks as Akira Toriyama, you don't have to. But you can see it's him. It's him. Like, look at him. Just look at him. He's bold. He's not afraid, and he's willing to sacrifice it all to help the Sea Fighters. And that's everything matches up 100% with Akira. He travels time. He helps, and that's who Akira is. And I believe he is that special character. And I could tell because I make my own anime, and I have characters like that too. That I put a lot of hidden messages of what I really feel, or the message that I really want to show through characters. And I figured he must do it too. And I was looking through the characters and seeing which one. And the only one that I could find was Trunks. And the other thing about it, before I end the video, like when you compare all the characters to Trunks, Trunks is the coolest. People can argue, but there's no cooler character than Trunks. Even his outfit looks cool. His behavior and everything. The fact that he's the son of Vegeta is like sick. It's so cool. And Bulma. So you'd figure like he has the Saiyan heritage and blood of Vegeta, but he has the quick wittiness and smartness and intelligence from Bulma. It's like, okay, you're gonna get a OP character, and that's it. It's Trunks. You have Trunks, and then he has Saiyan blood. Like, wow. But I'm gonna end the video with this. So just a quick recap. I did a recap on Piccolo, why he's his favorite character, and there's just so much to discuss about the character. Gohan, we touched on a little bit, and then Trunks, which I believe is Akira Toriyama. It's a special character, and it's Trunks is Akira Toriyama come into the Z world. I honestly believe that's what it is. So that's pretty much it. My take on it. That's from my perspective. Hopefully, you can see also so many similarities with Akira Toriyama and Trunks, like I do, and hopefully, people will respect the character more and not let the character die. And the same thing like Akira, he's gonna be traveling through time and helping people just like Trunks. So making sure everyone can live another day and positive. And that's pretty much it for the video. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. And with that having been said, Kamehameha.